Yes, sir. That's a big win. Big win indeed for the Edmonton Oilers in Vegas. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the GCL Diesel Oil Stream postgame show. Tom Gazzola, Hernan, Salas, inside the EST Global HQ. Get in on the action. Text us 780-218-9999. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can also jump into the nasty chat. Share your thoughts on Edmonton's 3-2 win at kickoff this 4-game road trip. They do it against their Pacific Division rivals from Vegas. Gutsy performance. Second period, very nice. Third period, bringing it home. First period, it doesn't matter. They got the win. Of course, GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. Yes, indeed. Give the Oilers 43 wins on the season. Vegas, just their 8th regulation loss on home ice. And if you're keeping tabs on the out-of-town scoreboard, here's what you need to know about that one tonight when it comes to the Pacific Division and the Western Conference. St. Louis, my goodness, 10th straight win, 2-1 over Detroit in overtime. LA 3-1. They lead Winnipeg. 18 minutes left in the third. Utah defeats Calgary 3-1. That is a huge blow to the Flames. Bye-bye, Calgary. And then, of course, 3-2, the Oilers win it in Vegas. Let's get Cass and Hernan in on the action. Boys, my goodness, that's a big victory for the Oil. Initial thoughts, Cass, if you're ready to go, and then Hernan, and then away we go.
Yeah, big win. Little clunky a few times over the course of the game, but I thought it was a solid win. They kind of weren't really, I think, in a shooting mindset early in that hockey game. You know, had that pass first mindset for a good chunk of the game. Started to wake up in the second period, and our boy Ryan Nugent-Hopkins doing some work today, fellas. Doing some work indeed. But hey, good solid win against a really good Vegas team that plays really well at home.
Mm-hmm. And so,
yeah, I mean, after that first period, boys, I think Louis said it going into the second. Time to dig in, and they got the early goal, which was key, and then the 5-on-3, which Tom, we both. Hey, listen, we're honest here. We both said that was a weak call on Braden McNabb there.
Yes,
but nonetheless, like Cass just alluded to, a hell of a fake kind of shot that kind of fooled Aiden Hale. He finds Draisaitl, and I liked Arvidsson's game. I thought he was feisty. I hope that's the guy we see in the playoffs because he was in there. I'm glad they didn't take that goal off the board, boys, because that was not goaltender interference. But you didn't know. Yeah, exactly. We were kind of like, they might call us back. And they took their sweet time reviewing it as well. So that's always worrisome. But all in all, guys, excellent second period, bad first period. Third period, once they got Vegas got the early goal. The Oilers had some good looks, but Vegas really turned it on and they held on. Another solid outing for Mr. Calvin Pickard. But boys, what a way to start the road trip. Exactly the way you want to, with a big win over the first place Vegas Golden Knights.
Yes, indeed. Let's get into the scoring summary and game stats from this one, and then we'll get into the breakdown with Cass. In the first period, the Oilers, I think their first shot came like 7.5, 8 minutes in. It wasn't a very good one. They only ended up with a couple shots in that first period. Nicholas Waugh opened up the scoring at 4:34. His 12th of the season from Dorothea. Bad giveaway by Leon Draisaitl led to that one. Neutral zone. You don't like those. But in the second, the Oilers do wake up. They dig in. Everything that Louis said they needed to do, they did it. Jake Walman, the blast, his 7th of the year from Podkolzin and Bouchard, 19 seconds into the middle frame. Then on that 5-on-3, like Hernan and Cass were talking about, at 16:03, Leon Draisaitl on a nice feed by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Evan Bouchard, the secondary assist. That one on the power play for Draisaitl, his 52nd goal of the year. Absolute monster season for Draisaitl. Then at 18:20, Victor Arvidsson. He is coming around lately. It's a nice thing to see. His 12th of the year, digs away at the puck and puts it past Aiden Hill. Kapanen and Henrique pick up the helpers on that one. 3-1 Oil after 2. And in that third period, Pavel Dorofeev uses the screen in front sifts one in past Calvin Pickard, his 32nd of the year. He's having a very strong offensive season. Caden Korjak with the assist, his 10th at 235. Shots on goal tonight, 22-20 in favor of the Golden Knights. The Oilers win the faceoff battle, 54.7% to 45.3. Power play, 1 for 4. PK, 1 for 1. Very nice. Hits, 30 for the Oilers, 12 for the Golden Knights. Blocked shots, 14 for the Oilers, 6 for the Golden Knights. Some key block shots, especially in that third period for Edmonton. Giveaways officially 14 for Vegas, 13 for Edmonton. Takeaways 5 for the Oil, 2 for the VGK. The most important part is the 3-2 regulation victory for the Orange and Blue. Let's get to a couple of texts. Then the breakdown with Cass. Salty Turtle says, of course, Val Kilmer passes away on Tombstone Tuesday. He'll forever be our Huckleberry. From Salty Turtle. Oh, man, that's sad. Yeah, Val Kilmer, Iceman, that's a very sad one. Can you get this board up here, Nanso? I'll do one for Val Kilmer here, boys.
I'm your Huckleberry.
There we go. On this Tombstone Tuesday. Randy texting in says, and the penalties were 4-1 Vegas. I assume it was a well-officiated game. Hey, Tommy, that's how we judge that as Oilers fans, right? Haha, Randy. No, we didn't like that second call in the 5-on-3. Is that fair, Cass? Like, it was very soft. It was a stick.
No, it was a soft call. Yeah, we call.
Yep. Randy, no, it was not good.
But like most, it's not the players' fault. They go out there and they try to score a goal.
The refs call it. Hey, please, we don't want that power play, sir. We feel it wasn't a penalty.
Decline.
Yeah, that's never going to happen.
Make it. Yeah, we'll save that one for later.
Yeah, please. No, we don't want that. Let's get to the breakdown with Cass, brought to you by South Fort Chev. Buy now and save 0% financing, OAC up to 72 months, or save up to $8,000 on 2025 Silverado 1500s. It's that time of year for seasonal tire change service. Mention that EST sent you and receive an on-rim tire change for $59.95 plus tax. We're also giving a big discount on inspections when you get your tires changed. See dealer for details, www.southfortchev.com. Drive a little, save a lot at South Fort Chev. Cast that overall good feeling, good win. Not perfect, but if you're the Oilers tonight, what are you building off of going into San Jose on Thursday?
Yeah, well, I think you're building off of the energy of the game. And I think just as much building off of it and wanting to carry some momentum through the rest of the road trip here, I think you're building off of just the style you want to play. Like, because the tendency is going to be to sag. You know, come up with this huge win against the Vegas Golden Knights and going to San Jose where, you know, San Jose is not going to be at the level. They're not going to press you at the level, most likely. They're not going to play at the level that Vegas did, particularly in the third when Vegas did have some offensive zone time and they were pressing and pressing and pressing. They're not going to challenge you like that. But for Edmonton, I think you're looking at this going like, hey, this is a really good team, the Vegas Golden Knights. They're tops in our division. We either played with them or outplayed them for periods of this game. And now it wasn't, as you said, wasn't perfect. First period was a little sloppy. Third period, they're on their heels a little bit, but they managed to hang on. And I think that's what you're taking. I mean, we got to start thinking about building into the playoffs here, right, guys? Like everything is for the playoffs, not just for the seeding in the playoffs, but just to build towards it. And so I think you're just pulling that positive momentum from this game of being able to play against the top teams and have success. That's what you're pulling from this one.
Guys, how much concern was there in the third period when they had the lead cut in half? Because it felt to me like they handled the Golden Knights generally quite well in the defensive zone. Where were you guys at with how they handled that lead?
Well, Tom, we were both sitting there where the Russian fellow there, the first star of the
Dorofeyev?
night. Yeah, he missed a wide open net. So,
I know.
They did get some breaks. I mean, every time Eichel shot the puck, boys, it was dangerous, man. It was a good thing the last one was partially blocked by Walman, but some posts for sure, guys. But again, they were able to weather that third period storm after the second goal. And I think for them, that's huge, right? Like, you're going to get breaks sometimes. They all even out. Like, that's what everybody says, right? So, yeah, missing a wide open net, a few posts here or there, but those all even out. So I don't think, I mean, the only goal, Tom, it was the first one, right? A bad turnover off the rush again. They can't pick up Wah in the middle, and it's a goal. I think that's the only one you can kind of look at and be like, ugh, that was ugly. But they had their moments, sure, but I thought they were a lot more good than bad tonight.
Cass?
Yeah, a lot more good than bad. And that, right after we talk about Draisaitl on the pregame show and about how he's largely cut those types of turnovers out of his game this year. It comes up with one. But it's okay. Those are going to happen on occasion. Guys, it was a solid game. Vegas did have some chances in the third when they pressed, the empty net being one, the post being another, kind of in the same sequence. And then they challenged. But that's hockey, right? The other teams are going to push at times. You're going to be on your heels a little bit, and it's a bend but not break mentality. And I really felt, Tom, that as you mentioned already, and Hernan, and you clarified this too, they didn't panic. Even after Vegas got that goal to pull within one, they didn't panic. Were they on their heels a little bit? Yes, but it wasn't like just throwing pucks away, freaking out. It didn't feel like they were terrified that they were going to lose that hockey game. Like they didn't switch into, hey, we're just going to try to hold on. Yeah. They just, it was kind of calm, like, hey, we've been in 1-goal games before. We're just going to do our thing and we're okay, which I appreciate and I think is important going into this last stretch before the playoffs.
Edmonton in 1-goal games improves to 21-10-5. Vegas 11-8-8 this season, which is interesting. So just a little nugget there for you. Let's get to some more texts here. 780-218-9999. The Oilers win 3-2, snapping Vegas's 6-game winning streak and their 3-game home winning streak. They've been very good at the Fortress, as they like to call it, T-Mobile Arena in Sin City. Shaggy in St. Albert says, some say that I am too negative. Glad they showed up after ugly first period. Oilers lead 3-1 going into the third. Hung on in the third. Some lucky misses by Vegas. Yes, I have to acknowledge those. Picker battled for this win. Will not reference the goalie that shall not be named. Oilers still can't finish on empty net. Character road win. Hope Oilers don't blow their goodwill from this win against Sharks or Ducks. If they can win 3 of 4 on this road trip, they have a shot for second in the division. Don't want to give the Kings home ice in the first round. Where do you guys sit on the fear of Kings home ice advantage in general? Cass?
Yeah. I'm like at 7. I think we talked about this earlier today. I think I'm still there where it's like, it's a concern. They're really good on home ice, but I'm not freaking out about it. Mm-hmm. So, there is a legitimate concern because they are really good at home. And they're a good team, but I'm not in panic mode. So I'm like a 6 to 7 in that range.
6 out of 7. Nancito?
Yeah, we've been talking about this on the pregame show and during the afternoon show as well, where let's just say they start in LA and the Oilers split, like home ice, who cares at that point, right? Like that they only lost 5 or 6 games on home ice. I truly don't think come playoff time that stat's gonna matter much, Tom. We'll wait and see, but I don't think the Oilers look at that and say, oh boy, we're in trouble. The Oilers go in there and say, hey boys, let's try to take 2, go back home up 2 and finish this out quickly, right? So for me, it's not that big of a deal, but I know for some it is, and it could turn out that way, but for me, I don't think the Oilers think that way.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It's something, but good teams find a way to get past stuff like that. So, all right, let us know your thoughts. Continue to send us text 780-218-9999. Piss Jug. Good to hear from old PJ.
Oh, PJ.
All right.
Hello, Tommy and Latino Heat and Cass. PJ here. 21 1-goal games. The Oilers have won. Not too shabby, I say. So pretty good game again for Leon. Have a good night. Thanks, boys. That's from PJ, Piss Jug, Pat Janix. Great guy out of Saskatoon. Big Uke texts in and says, hopefully guys just go with positive messages tonight. I'm sure others will have some negative things to say. Huge W for this team. Awesome way to start the road trip. Yeah, it was a good win. Coach Mike says, do the post-game show with echo effects as a nod to tonight's broadcast. Huge 2 points, Coach Mike. That was super annoying.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
I was concerned, guys, for a little bit that it was just me, that I'm like, something's wrong with my TV or something's wrong with my ears, because it was Oh, that was challenging. That was challenging.
That was a tough one. Because
Yeah.
we noticed it right away, Tom. We're like, what the hell is that?
We thought it was ours, and I went on X, Twitter, and I looked at all the mentions, and I was like, nope, definitely happening to everybody. Even Jay Milton was getting rattled. He's like, I had to watch it on mute. I can't watch this. I don't know how they have audio engineers. I don't know what happened. I don't know the technical side of it. Maybe Iwanek does, but that was super frustrating, and nicely done, Coach Mike. Yeah. Echo tonight. Not on this show, I'll tell you what. We'll keep it nice and crisp. Troll says, great block shot by Nurse late in the game. And then Stanley in YYC says, good evening, gents. Was on vacation for a bit. Lots to catch up on Oilers-wise. Big win by the boys tonight. Good to come out on top of these playoff-like games. 33 starting to come around more on the score sheet. Been a huge critic of him all year. That's Stanley in YYC. Okay, Draisaitl gets the one. Power play goes and clicks at the 5-on-3, which you need. But the secondary players, Cass, Arvidsson being one of them, starting to step up. Are there other guys that you're like, you know what, the game's coming around for them?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say the game's coming around for a Kapanen, but he did play a very good game tonight. Like, I don't think he's been great. I've made many a case to have him out of the lineup at times. But I thought he had a solid night tonight. Like he did. He makes a great play on that backdoor attempt by Jack Eichel defensively, gets in a good position there, is able to chip in offensively with a big assist for this team. And yeah, he had a strong night. Like, this was the first game in a long time where I'm be like, yeah, Kapanen's got it today. Like, he's moving today. He's involved today. He's around it today. So I thought, had a really strong game. Podkolzin, I thought fairly physical in and around on the forecheck, gets rewarded with an assist. He had a strong game. And then, Victor Arvidsson with I don't want to call it a dirty goal, but a greasy goal, a gritty goal, a battle type goal in front of the net by being hard in the puck, which was great. And we mentioned it a little bit already. I was very unsure if it was going to count or not. I definitely think it should have. But it ends up standing, which is a good thing. So those three guys I'll single out today as having really solid nights because I thought all of them played very well.
Yeah, that's back-to-back games, really good games for Podkolzin and Arvidsson. Remember the stat of the night I gave you last game? I don't think Cass was on that postgame show about Jeff Skinner's hits. Okay, so I got this one from Swain again for tonight. Yamark ties career high with 5 hits. He's played 629 career games and has 5 hits twice in his career, both against Vegas. Look at that, eh?
His old team. How about that?
I don't know where Swain comes up with these stats, but they're fantastic.
Cass, the stat the other night for Jeff Skinner was that was the first time he had more than 3 hits in a game since 2012.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I don't know how Swainer got that one, but it was pretty good.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm just quickly looking at the game log here for Victor Arvidsson, and another goal tonight. He had a goal versus Calgary. He went 4 games without a point, and then he had back-to-back goals and back-to-back games against New York and Utah. So some signs of life, which is good. A little bit of a spark, which is good. You need to see that. You need these guys to wake up a little bit. We're not going to bring up the Holloway thing right now, but at least the guy that's on the team this year is starting to do a little bit offensively.
Can I ask you guys a question?
What if we said no?
Does this have to do with Holloway?
No.
Wait.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, he didn't score tonight, so what a slacker. Thursday, boys. You go back to Pickard now that you got this win?
Ooh, interesting. Because we were talking about Rodrigue and that possibility, weren't we?
Yeah.
Or do you? Because you need those points, boys. So do you
do want those
with the guy
points.
that's going to give you the best chance still? Or do you give Rodrigue a chance and believe in your team that they're going to play well enough to win the game?
Cass, I'll let you handle that one.
Yeah, I'm just looking. I'm just trying to think through. Yeah.
That's Pickard's third straight start, by the way.
But then, I think you can start Pickard. Because it's not like it's crazy travel going from Vegas to San Jose. And then you have a day and a half again in between with not that much travel. And then I'm assuming they'll probably, with the airport stuff, probably stay overnight in San Jose. and then fly out to LA the next day. Yeah, potentially.
Airport stuff means the curfew at the San Jose airport.
Yeah, there's this curfew at that airport. So if you don't get there early enough and for a 7:30 game, I don't know, depending on how fast the game goes, you might not get this. I might just plan to sit. Regardless, I think you start him. Because Skinner might be back for Saturday too. So right. I think you want the points. I think you roll with Pickard. Not that you're upset with how Rodrigue played when he stepped in the other night. I thought he was fine. But yeah, I think you stick with Pickard.
And I'm not saying this because people are like, oh, Hernan. I'm not saying it because I don't want Pickard to start. I'm just asking the question if they give the young guy a game against the last place team in the league, right? I'm just saying, because if they lose this game, I think it's automatically Pickard. Now I think it's still 80-20 Pickard going into it, but I don't know. I just thought I'd ask that question if they give Rodrigue a look here. Might be Anaheim if Skinner's not back too, right?
I'd probably just go, if it was up to me, I'd probably go back to Pickard and say, we need to ride you. Sorry, young guy. You made your NHL debut. You're here to back up just in case. This is crunch time and we want to get that home ice advantage in the first round against LA. If this was game 42 or whatever, then I've put Ollie Rodrigue in, no problem. That's how I would look at it. And then the airport thing, by the way, Cass, when you were in the league, did you guys ever fly out of Oakland instead? Because we did that a couple of times instead of San Jose.
No, I don't think so. I think it was like rush to the airport.
Yeah, we
every
did that
single
a couple
time.
Times.
Where it was like you're not really doing media. It's like no one do their post game rehab. It's like do it on the plane.
Right.
type of pack up and get out of there as quick as you can. Yeah. I don't think we ever flew out of Oakland that I can remember.
We flew out of Oakland a few times. It's just a longer vehicle ride. That was it. But it is what it is. It's one of the little nuances of the travel in the National Hockey League. All right, let's get to some more texts. Keep those coming in. 780-218-9999. The Oilers 3-2 winners over the Vegas Golden Knights to even up the season series. Both teams winning 2 games. This one comes in from Gray-Haired Teacher. Gray-Haired Teacher wants to know, legit questions, boys. Not trying to be dramatic, but does Pickard start game 83? The boys seem to play with way more confidence in front of him. I love the show. Gray-Haired Teacher. What say you guys? Hernan, you go first on this one.
Oh, man. That's a tough one. I know Gager and I discussed it too. Ooh, when Skinner comes back, you still gotta see where he's at, right? I think Pickard's doing everything to push it, and that's good. He's playing great. I don't believe the team plays more confident in front of him. I think they're confident in front of both their guys. But I mean, he's making it interesting, Tom. I know he sure is, but I still think, and this is just what I think the Oilers are going to do, I still think it's going to be Stuart Skinner come 83.
Yes, what say you?
He is making it more interesting, and Pickard's playing really well and inspiring lots of confidence. I don't think management views him as being a starter, so Skinner's going to play if he's healthy. And what I think doesn't matter. I don't think what the guys and gals in the nasty chat think doesn't matter. I'm fairly certain that's what the team views us as. So Skinner's still your number one. He took you within a goal of the Stanley Cup. He's going to be back in there. That being said, if he's still shaky, if there's signs of injury, if he needs extra time, what Pickard is doing is buying you that time right now for Stuart Skinner to get healthy. So it's a good thing. You want both guys going and other guys pushing those guys to be better. So it's not a bad thing, but I think Skinner's still the guy.
Ace96 via the nasty chat says Knob will start Skinner in playoffs. Game 1, 100% for sure. Agreed, Matt. Yep. Have you and Ace96 made amends? Are you guys on the same page now?
You know what? It's frenemies. It's frenemies. We are friends. I appreciate and respect Ace. The same thing. Frenemies. We agree to disagree on just about everything, and that's okay. It's a good thing.
If they run into you in person, they're buying you a beer, and vice versa.
Probably, and vice versa. Yeah.
I'm pissed at you, Fandy. You said I was losing my hair, man.
He did say that earlier. Oh boy. I want to get to this one. Rob from the Grove, who was there in Vegas with his wife Cheryl. said, "Oh my God, it was scary inside T-Mobile Arena, but we win." I said, "Was there fights? What happened?" Lots of Oilers jerseys there. So let us know, Rob from the Grove. We want to hear from you if you're listening or watching.
And Leon's uncle, Tommy.
And Leon's uncle. Very nice. That's cool. Alpine ski coach, apparently. Yeah. Very cool. All right. Let's get to a couple here. Troll says that's a pretty crappy NHL debut. Give Rodrigue the start in the San Jose game. I think we're beyond feelings and like what a glorious start or debut in the NHL. At this time of year, that kind of goes out the window, does it not? Yeah.
Yeah, that's me nodding, if you can't
That's
see.
you nodding, yes. Rob from the Grove says it was a tense last 5 minutes inside T-Mobile, but we had a fun time in Vegas. Go to Dirty Kurt. He says, huge win. Too bad they went 0-10 on draws in the last minute. Picks holding down the fort with haywire and duct tape. That's from Dirty Curdy. All right, keep those coming in. Conroe, Texas says, this might be the most stick battles and puck battles I've seen the Oilers win all year, perhaps getting ready for the playoffs. Cass, we have a couple more minutes with you. I like that one by Conroe, Texas. Pardon me. Puck battles, stick battles, races to pucks. I saw Podkolzin dive for one to kind of chip it away from a defender in the neutral zone in the third period. I like that. What do you read off of that?
Yeah, well, it's being engaged, and that's what we want to see. Or like that's engaged, that's committed to it, that's engaged to the battle, that's committing to playing hard and playing the way generally that you need to play to win in the playoffs and to beat good teams. You can't sit back and just let the other team have possession in terms of puck races. You have to win stick battles. Like you have to be engaged and you have to get there. And that's again where it's a positive thing. It's like, this is a good team in Vegas. They're a good team at home. They're a division rival. You're trying to catch them. Doubtful that you do, but you're trying to catch them for that first place in the Pacific. And it takes all those little things and those hard things. You know, it can be hard to dive for a puck. It can be hard to get physical in a battle. It can be hard to bear down and win in a moment when the easy thing would be maybe back out or, you know, let the puck go to the other guy. So it's just a good thing from a team that wants to compete and wants to get ready for the playoffs.
Good indicator. Conroe, Texas. Nice catching that one, and I like it. Nice explanation there, Cass. All right, Cass. You go into San Jose, you get LA Saturday afternoon, 2:00 start our time. And then you go into Anaheim on Monday, wrap up this 4-game trip. Keys to victory in San Jose and then LA, because I know we don't have you until next Wednesday.
Yeah, I think. Well, no, I'm there. San Jose Thursday. I'm good.
Oh, Thursday. Sorry, my bad.
Thursday,
okay,
yeah,
you're not there for LA and Anaheim. My bad.
LA and Anaheim. Yeah, I can't the weekend, but Thursday I'm good. Yeah, no, looking forward to. I think I said it coming off of a big win. Is to make sure that going into San Jose, you don't have that drop, right? That emotional lull where it's like now you're looking forward to a team that's the worst team in the league. You went from a really good team to not a very good team in terms of who you're playing against. And the tendency is going to be to dial it back a little bit and kind of rest on your laurels and be okay. So that's going to be it. I don't think you have any problems getting up for that LA game. I think everyone's going to know what's at stake for that one. So San Jose is the intriguing one to me. To see how they play, and then the LA game is just going to be fun on the weekend. You got a question, Bruin? I can see it.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I was just going to say, show no mercy to the Sharks on Thursday.
Oh yeah.
Just go beat the wheels off them.
Right? Yep.
Okay, we do have you Thursday, but we don't have you Saturday and Monday. I want to say this because it's already late. Great job today, Cass, as always.
Thanks, buddy.
You were a busy boy today, so we appreciate it.
He's a busy boy. Yeah, full day, but a good day. Happy to be finishing up here with you fellas.
All right, go kiss the girls goodnight and get some rest, my friend. We'll talk to you on Thursday.
Sounds good.
There's our game analyst, Matt Kassian, with the breakdown brought to you by South Fort Chev. Go mention EST if you want to get your tires swapped out. Maybe you're getting your winters taken off and your summers put on. And you get an on-rim tire change for $59.95 plus tax. That's not bad. I remember in my tire slinging days at Costco, I think the price per tire to swap them was like $11 at the time, and that was 18 years ago.
Different time,
That was a
Tom.
long time. In this economy,
I just had to get my tires, man.
I know you had a lot of tire work done today. All right, let's get to the Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy turning point of the game. At Advantage Sports Medicine and Physio, we treat you like the pros. Our multidisciplinary team includes sports medicine physicians along with highly skilled physiotherapists, strength and conditioning coaches, and massage therapists. If you have a nagging pain you'd like to see go away, book your consultation today at www.advantagesportsmed.ca. That's the one where Crush works, right? We're talking with Awanik.
Yes.
Yeah, Crusher helping Awanik get back into the swing of things with his shoulder. He had surgery, and Awanik said it was a really good session that he had at Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. So your turning point of the game comes in the second period, and it is a 2-minute and 17-second span. Draisaitl buries his 52nd of the year on the power play. It gives the Oilers the lead, and then Victor Arvidsson digs for one, much to the chagrin of Aiden Hill, but it ends up being a good goal to make it 3-1. That ultimately is your GWG, and that is your Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy turning point of the game. Hernan, Salas, what do we got next?
We got Jake Walman post-game and Coach Knoblauch, if you'd like.
Yeah, I'd like that a lot. Let's hear from the guy who scored his first goal as an Oiler. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
Let's do it. Here's Jake Walman.
Feeling of scoring your first in an Oilers uniform and also coming in a victory.
Yeah, it felt great. I think getting my chances, so it was nice to see that one go in. And we have a great group of guys, so I think that was a tough battle, and it's a tough team, and we played well.
Was it frustrating at all? Because you have been creating chances, and you've had a lot of chances. Was it kind of getting to you, or were you just kind of staying the path knowing that it would eventually come?
Yeah, it's going to come. I think biggest thing is just fitting in, playing well, and letting that stuff take care of itself. So happy I went in, though, and happy we got the win.
What were some of the ingredients to your guys' success, especially against that Vegas team? That's a good team.
Yeah, well, I think obviously we knew that coming in. They're a tough team, just being dialed in from the start. Kind of being simple, playing deep, and trying to keep it in their zone as much as we can. And they're a good team when they get rolling, so kind of trying to limit their chances as well. And I think we did that pretty good. Also, we had thought Pix played unbelievable back there. He helped us out when we broke down a little bit.
What are your first impressions of Calvin Pickard as a teammate?
Well, you know, I was with him in Detroit for a bit, so a little bit familiar with him. But he's a great guy, great person on and off the ice. So really happy for him, and he's playing great for us.
That's a really fast Vegas squad over there. Is this kind of the ceiling of what you guys are capable of playing defensively when you guys really lock it down?
Yeah, I think for sure we're capable of defending against the best for sure, and this is for sure one of the best teams. So up and down their lineup, I think they're really deep, and I thought everybody did a good job, even the forwards coming back and back checking, helping the D out. So we played a team game tonight. I thought that's what it was.
What's it like being teammates with Leon Draisaitl as opposed to defending him?
Yeah, I've said it a bunch. It's nice being on this side for sure. Yeah, when I see him and Connor and those guys rolling around, it's nice to be on this side of it, and yeah, happy to be a part of it. I just smile.
Did it feel like a playoff game? I mean, there was a lot of energy in there. There were a lot of Oiler fans, and the intensity of the game. Did it feel like it was how playoff games are going to be coming up?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we have great fans, and almost kind of felt like a home crowd there for a bit when we were going. So yeah, they always show out, and yeah, we knew it was going to be that kind of playoff intensity. So excited, and it's kind of what we're going to be looking forward to in the future.
All right, there's Jake Walman, scores his first goal as an Oiler. An absolute rocket past Aiden Hill as the Oilers win 3-2 over the Golden Knights. Edmonton improves to 7-6 at T-Mobile Arena regular season overall. So good battles between these two teams throughout the years. Two good teams going toe-to-toe, clashing, and we could see them face each other in the postseason potentially. So hey, every round's going to be tough. Every round's going to create stress for the fan base. It will not go as according to plan and perfectly. I like to enjoy the ride, but for others, it's a little different.
Yeah. It's this goaltending question is going to be great going forward. Yeah,
good.
It's a good discussion.
But it's like all these guys who are going to come back from injury right away. You're
Who's out?
yanking, like Max Jones, you're out. Kapanen, you might be out. Skinner, who knows? Although I don't mind his game as much lately. Like it's been.
How dare you? How dare you?
Apologies.
So
anyway, but you have competition now.
yeah, oh yeah,
That's good.
I love it because you're getting McDavid, Frederick for sure. Kane's still up in the air. Like at what point?
At some point, you get Ekholm back.
Max
Klingberg,
Jones,
whatever.
Max Jones. I mean, there's a few candidates that I would take out, but Knoblauch won't. But I know Max Jones is a for sure. And then I think it's between Jeff Skinner and Kasperi Kapanen. And I'm with you. I don't agree Jeff Skinner should come out.
Yeah.
But just he's always kind of been that guy. So I think it's those three for sure that are going to maybe be sitting out some games here going forward.
All right, let's go back to T-Mobile Arena. We have head coach Chris Knoblauch after his team's 3-2 victory over the Golden Knights.
What kind of led to the slower start, and then what allowed you guys to kind of turn it around beginning?
Yeah, it looked like maybe it was a game plan to put him to sleep and then would take over in the second period. I think the execution wasn't there. Missed passes, going offside, we were not able to generate very much just because we were just ending plays. And then in the first period, we came out with a strong start. Obviously, Leo's line, and then we get a goal, and that just gives us a lot more life. And I thought our game was a lot better after that.
How about Jake Walman? What have you thought of his first games as a Northern, and then eventually finally getting rewarded?
Yeah, no, I thought he's been playing really well, and especially in the offensive zone. He's a guy that can help contribute offensively. And the play, Bush makes a nice pass to Podkolzin, and then Podkolzin bumps it over there. It was a nice setup and allows him to walk down, and a great shot. And it's tough for the goalie to, save those with a slap shot with the guy coming down like that.
Tell me about a guy like Pickard who has a long career because he's a nice goalie, but a good guy, and everyone loves having him on the team, and he's just, and then the moment comes where he's got to play a bunch in a row, and he shows you here he's got the chops to play.
A lot of credit for him. Guys feel happy for him that he's doing that, and not only do I like him for being a good guy, but I like the fact that he's playing pretty well and winning us a lot of hockey games.
Yeah, the save he made on Dorofeev at the end. I haven't seen a guy come out that far since Grant Fuhr. Not many guys in the league that have that style.
Well, that's what maybe Pix doesn't have with the technical side of it. He makes up for it with just reading the play, his hockey sense. For him to read that pass was going through, he knew exactly who was going to be over there. It's a one-time shot. It's not that they were going to make a second play. He had to come out and challenge it, and he did a heck of a job doing that.
Chris, did that feel like a playoff game to you?
No, just because, I think if we lost, we can still go on our ways. And the fact that I guess it was played like a playoff game with the tight checking, the low shots, and I don't think we're quite at that level yet.
Ah, that's kind of interesting. Says it doesn't feel like a playoff game. Did follow it up. Some elements of playoffs. Did you feel like it was a playoff game?
No. I mean,
not really.
No, because the first was so poorly played by the Oil. And
it was sloppy.
And listen, I think Vegas is going to look back at that first and said we needed that second goal, because I think if they get the second goal, it might be a little bit of a different outcome tonight.
Suck the wind out of the sails, basically.
Yeah, and then the Oilers get the early goal in the second and kind of take it to the Golden Knights. In the third, I mean, the goal came so early, and I thought the Oilers at the end were just kind of making the safe play, which is good. They weren't really attacking anymore and just kind of holding on, right? They got a lot of blocked shots. They got some lucky bounces off the post, and Pickard, when called upon, made the saves that he needed to make. So, listen, I'm pretty happy with this victory. I'm giving them full marks outside of that first period. I thought they competed. They're down two of their best players, McDavid and Ekholm. Let's be honest here. And listen, I know they were missing their top defenseman, and they were missing Tomas Hertl as well. But if you look at the lines, I think they had a little bit more depth there. The Oilers got to build off this. They still got to clean up off the rush stuff.
Yeah,
they're still a little bit sloppy in their own end. But all in all, you got to be pretty happy for an Oilers fans with this win, because now the important part is don't go into San Jose feeling fat and sassy like they sometimes do after big wins.
Yeah.
And just go in there and take care of business. And you know what? Make it an easy night. Make it an easy night on Leon Draisaitl, the guys that are the minute munchers on this team. Go out there, get the lead, build on it, and then now I'm not saying you can coast in the third, but you can kind of just roll your 4 lines and your 6 defensemen. No
mercy. I want that mantra on Thursday if I'm the Edmonton Oilers. Just 100%. Like you said, just go and run them over.
Don't F around.
Exactly.
Like, seriously. I don't want Tom to go crazy again.
I don't want to go crazy. I want to have a nice Thursday night. It's going to be super late. We're all going to be like, oh, my God. End it. By the way, the Sharks lost tonight to Anaheim 4-3 in a shootout. Boston, winless in 9 now, lost 6 in a row. They are the worst team in the Eastern Conference. The Sharks have just reached 50 points with that shootout loss tonight. They are 1 back of Chicago. Woof, man. 3-6-1 in the last 10 are the San Jose Sharks. There's a couple of texts I wanted to get to as well. Dusty, it's bedtime, big boy. 15 likes away from 100. Hammer it for the boys. I think that was a couple minutes ago too. We're at 89. There's a lot of people watching, almost 250. So hit that thumbs up if you don't mind. It's always nice to get to 100 during a post-game show. I know in the playoffs it's going to be crazy, but we've had good numbers on the viewership side. I'm pretty sure the audio side's been pretty strong all season long as well. Let's go into the inbox, 780-218-9999. Coach Mike says San Jose has 2 wins versus teams in a playoff spot in the last 32 games, both versus the Leafs. LOL. In those 32 games, they have 7 total wins. Would be good to give Pickard the night off. Would motivate the Oilers team to play harder in front of Rodrigue. Coach Mike, I understand that rationale. I do. I just don't want to leave anything to chance. Just go in there and smoke them. Go in there and beat them. And like, if you give Rodriguez first start, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but there's always that potential, the nerves, maybe he lets in a stinker. San Jose starts feeling good and confident. And then the Oilers just don't have it. Leave that, just completely nullify that possibility.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like anything could happen.
True.
It could happen with picks and net, but yeah, you got to go with the guy that gives you the best chance to win. And that's why I think Gage and I were talking. We're like, it depends on this game, because would it be different, Tom, if they lost this one and it was just a stinker? And then you're like, hey, or because my mentality is, if you lost this one, I'd go with Pickard again, because you need to win that game, right? As opposed to, we're going to give Pickard the night off. He struggled. We're going to go with the young guy, Olivier Rodrigue, right? Like, I think any way you look at it, this has to be Pickard's game. And I know for the fan base, and I know it's exciting to watch young guys that we don't get to see a lot up here and that could potentially be on the big team one day. I know we all get excited for that, but the Oilers are fighting for home ice here. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why you need to hold back a little bit on playing Olivier Rodrigue. Now, Tom, if you win Thursday, you win Saturday, and Skinner's still not back, give him Anaheim.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Yeah. I don't mind that, actually. Chief Andy says, for all that Pickard has done, you don't snub him with an arrogant gimme game. Does that mean you want him playing or you want him sitting?
Yeah.
The Dark Wolf says, who the hell is Dorofeev anyway? 30-goal scorer. Having a very strong season. That Pavel Dorofeev.
He's a good player, man.
He's a good player. Yeah, he's been in the league for a few years. Dorofeev, 32 goals after that one tonight. All right, more texts coming in. We will get to those. We have about 15 minutes left. We do need to get to the Damon Bunting Real Estate Player of the Game. Damon Bunting, consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. Hernan, the Latino Heat. Salas, take it away.
Ooh, this one's going to be interesting.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm just looking.
Is it going to be Jake Walman? I'm just kidding. Maybe it could be Walman. He had a good night, played over 20 minutes.
He was kind of fighting it a bit, right? And
he had a couple of giveaways there, yeah.
He's some rough games.
Yes, yeah.
Just once I want to give it to Yanmark, but...
Stop it. How? Why? What did he do tonight? Did you notice Mark Stone tonight, by the way?
No, he wasn't very good. Outside of complaining to the ref.
Right.
Stop. You know what? I'm going to give it to a guy that's taking a lot of heat. He's coming on, which is a good sign. He truly is. Victor Arvidsson. I love that goal. You know why? Because most players see that and they'll be like, he's got it. He kept going, kept his eye on it, didn't interfere with the goalie. I'm so glad they didn't call that off because that would have been a terrible call. He's been all around it, I think, the last 3-4 games. That line, the last 2 games, has been outstanding. Victor Arvidsson, 1 goal, 17:58 time on ice, 4 shots on net. I'm going to give it to the little Swede here. He is the Damon Putty player of the game for the agency. That is, I think, for the first time this year, Tommy.
Yeah.
Senor Victor Arvidsson.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice. Big Uke says, I only noticed Stone bitching to the refs.
Great minds think alike, my friend.
Very much the same. We have hit 100. That is a huge thank you. I have this to send to everyone. Where is this? Oh, give me the board.
Oh,
you take the board away every time. Thank you. Very good. Very good. A huge shout out to all the nasties watching right now as the Oilers win it 3-2 over the Vegas Golden Knights. 1 of 10 games on the schedule. Let's get you up to speed on what has happened around the National Hockey League tonight. Earlier in the day, it was Washington defeating Boston 4-3. Ovechkin 4 goals away from breaking Gretzky's all-time goals record. Absolutely tremendous. I think he gets it done by the end of the weekend. They get the Islanders and Hawks, and then they play Carolina tomorrow. So I think the way he's going, man, I think it's by Sunday. We're talking about goal number 895 for Alex Ovechkin. The Habs, a big win over Florida. They swept the season series against the Panthers. They tied it late, and they won in OT. 3-2 is your final there. Buffalo, a win over Ottawa. That's got to sting if you're the Sens. Although you're in a safe spot, 84 points. You've got a 5-point cushion on the Montreal Canadiens. Both teams 8 games remaining, but they do lose tonight to Buffalo. Columbus, 8-4 winners over Nashville. Nashville, terrible season. Then you got Tampa, 4-1 win over the Islanders. Islanders are done. St. Louis continues to stay hot, 10 straight victories. They win it over Detroit 2-1 in OT, and then stick a fork in these guys. The Flamers are done. Bye-bye. 3-1 they lose to Utah. That's too bad. I was rooting for the Flames.
Just the way they play, man.
Yeah.
That game yesterday. And interesting about Ottawa, we had Ross Levitan's partner on from Locked On Senators on Brandon Pillar. And that night, Ottawa was playing Buffalo. It seems like that's the team they can't just get over it, Tom.
Jeez.
Because they lost again to them. Now, like you said, they do have quite a cushion there, but you don't want to be dropping these games this late in the season to teams like the Buffalo Sabres, but we'll see what they can do. No Brady Tkachuk tonight, too. He was hurt.
Yep.
So we'll continue to track that. In Montreal, man, what a story. Like, if Ottawa and Montreal get into it, it's going to be a great playoffs, man. I love when a lot of Canadian teams are in
Me
it,
too. That's why I was rooting for the Flames.
Yeah, good on them. But so I'll ask you this, a little off topic. We got about 12 minutes to go here, Tommy. So the Flames, it's interesting because as say you're a fan of the Flames, Tom, like this was probably fun for you because you're like, holy crap, we're a lot better than we all thought they were going to be. They're so close to a playoff spot. But then again, you're so close, but you don't get in. And then again, you don't get any draft, top draft. And like eventually you got to go one way or the other, Tom. You can't keep going like this.
I don't like bottoming out.
No, but if it happens, it happens. I'm not saying do it, like intentionally and trade all your good players and
they tried to do that.
But they brought in Huberdeau and Kadri, right? Like, and those guys didn't go there to rebuild, and I understand that. But I think if I were a Calgary Flames fan, I would appreciate this team because they worked their bag off, man. They were awesome. Like they were in every game. They're going to continue to be in every game.
Feisty.
Yeah, they're not going to quit playing because they still have a long shot, but they're going to keep going. But at the same time, I'm going to be sitting here and be like, but damn, man, like we can't get a top 5 pick. You know what I mean? Or am I reading too much into
No, and I asked Steinberg about this at the game on Saturday because Patty and I were kind of going over things, and I was like, how's the fan base handling it? And he goes, some are mad because they didn't get into like a better position, better percentage for the lottery. Others are highly encouraged by what this group can do, but Patty summed it up by saying this. He goes, they don't have the high-end talent. They don't have superstars or anything like that. So they might be stuck in the muck a bit.
Yeah.
And you know, they got, who's it? Is it Perek that they got? They're talking about him and what he might be able to do down the road here. So it's almost like some of the fan base unhappy, other parts of the fan base happy because it was a pleasant surprise. Ultimately, they lose out, but I don't know. I just don't like I appreciate what St. Louis has done. I appreciate what Washington has done.
Yeah.
Because they were starting to falter, right? And then they go and they add a couple of guys. Each team does.
That's a good
Wiley
point.
moves, and then boom, they're right back in it.
And in fairness to Calgary, it seems like they got their franchise goaltender.
Oh, yeah.
And you're not going to rebuild with that guy between the pipes. Like, you're not, right? Like, it'd be different if they were running Vladar and another journeyman, potential 1A, 1B, whatever. But, like, it seems Dustin Wolf's the real deal here. He's in his rookie year. There might be a sophomore slump, but whatever. It's interesting what's going on in Calgary. I'd love to get an idea from the fan base of what they're feeling. Like you said, seems like it's split right now, but there's definitely something there. I did like the players they brought in from Philadelphia. I think they bring a lot more than Kuzmenko and Jacob Pelche.
Well, Kuzmenko plays for LA now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He didn't last very long in Philly.
He scored tonight.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
Oh, that's nice because he was not having a great season.
He did. So interesting times in Calgary. And then you flip it down even further to the West Coast. Vancouver, man, what do they do? Is it just a one-off?
Sounds like Rick Tocchet doesn't even want to come back.
Tom, would you, and I've already brought this up, did everything just go right for them last year? And were they maybe a little bit ahead of their time?
I think they have good pieces. And they did last year, right?
Oh, yeah.
Miller was good.
Besser.
Besser had a good year. There was some peace in that locker room, even though things were not always smooth, or the waters weren't always smooth. There was some choppy, turbulent times. But they held it together, and I thought Tocchet got a lot out of them. They had the goaltending from Demko, unfortunate injury. Remember they lost Besser to a blood clot?
Yeah.
In the playoffs against Edmonton. That was unfortunate. Pettersson, I don't know what the hell happened to him. He does not look like the guy that was 90-something points a couple of years ago. He just a shell of his former self. Now they have to go and sign Lankin into a longer deal. The people are talking about what's going to happen with Rick Tocchet. He's like putting off contract extension talks till after the season. You've got Jim Rutherford and Patrick Alvane. Who's calling the shots? Who does what? It's just, there's so much. And then you got an owner that meddles and is different, if you will, by all accounts.
It's
turned into a mess.
Yeah. Now, career years for a lot of their guys last year. Like I said, everything nothing went wrong outside of the Demko injury late in the season and into the playoffs. Sure.
Yeah.
And then Besser in round 2 with the Edmonton Oilers, where the Edmonton Oilers got a break. I don't think Demko's done. He's come back this last stretch. He's played really well, Tom. He's played really well, but
which is great.
It's so familiar to the Oilers of 2017 because the next year everybody and their dog picked the Oilers to win the cup. After the first game of the season, they were a complete mess, and I feel like a lot of people had Vancouver going far this year, and they're not going to make it to the dance, man. It's interesting what's happening there too. I think they're in bigger turmoil than the Flames are. I don't think the Flames are in turmoil.
No, Flames have some direction at least.
That's what I mean. Like with Elias Pettersson, the money you're paying him, hard to move if you want to. I think they're set in the back end, Tommy. Mm-hmm. I think Lankinen's a good other option if Demko's, going to be in and out of this lineup. But I don't know. It's Yeah, those two teams, man. Going to be interesting to see what they do next year.
This one from Liquid Beaver texting. It says, St. Louis versus Vegas first round. What do you boys think about that? I like it.
I wouldn't want to play St. Louis. I'll tell you that much right now, Tommy.
They are on fire.
Tell you that much right now for free, man.
10 in a row they've won.
That's are they gonna peak themselves out here though? Because they're playing playoff hockey right now.
Yeah, and no Parayko. I think they still lose in the first round if they play Vegas.
I mean, Vegas is a wagon. Yeah, like
St. Louis is turning into one by, against all odds. But I still think they lose to Vegas.
Who has a
I
better
think the
chance?
Cinderella run dies.
Who has a better chance of the upset, the Wild or the Blues?
Oh, the Blues. Wilder.
But what if they get Eriksson Ek back?
I still don't think.
No.
Yeah, I think that Winnipeg. Or maybe Dallas. Dallas is still in the mix. They've won 6 in a row. 4 points back. Game in hand on Winnipeg.
That's crazy.
That is insane, man. We've got some great races. LA, by the way, did win tonight. 4-1 was your final there over the Jets. They are 2 points up on the Oilers, both teams having played 74 games. Actually, all 3 teams in the top 3 spots in the Pacific, Vegas, LA, and Edmonton, have all played 74 games. The Oilers have 2 more games against LA. They wrapped up the season series tonight against the Golden Knights. 2-2 they went. Vegas, 7 points up on the Oil. All you can do is win. Control your destiny. We just win games, see what happens.
This is how crazy it is, Tom. Before when the Four Nations kicked off, Vancouver was 5 points up on the St. Louis Blues.
They are now 8 points back of the St. Louis Blues.
How crazy. And they're 2 points back of the Oilers, man.
Yes, they are.
That's insane.
It is insane.
Good for them. But I think they're good. I wouldn't say good luck, but I think it's going to run out.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think they're going to hit a wall, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. You can text us. There's a couple minutes left here. 780-218-9999. The Oilers get the 3-2 win over the Vegas Golden Knights. A good night all around. I think you're pretty content with how things went. Missing Skinner, missing McDavid, missing Ekholm, not having Frederick at all so far, but Draisaitl scores. Nugent Hopkins makes a nice play. I thought Hyman gave you a sound effort. You had good nights from Podkolzin and Arvidsson. Arvidsson had the game-winning goal. Got some good saves from Pickard. Got lucky, absolutely. The defense held, bent but didn't break.
Yeah.
I think that's a very satisfying win for Oil Country. I think you're going to have a lot of happy people tomorrow on the Nielsen Show at 6 a.m. with Lieutenant Eric.
Oh, it's going to be great. We need some positivity, so it's going to be great, man. It's going to be fun to break down the game, have some positive highlights, talk about the game, and then tee up a game that the Oilers should win. On paper, they should win it everywhere, Tom. Like I said, that game is called the Don't F Around game.
Don't F around. Just take it. No mercy. Let's wrap things up with some nasty chats. Guy in the chat says, let's hope the Vancouver fans don't burn their city down once they're officially eliminated from contention. Samson says, I don't think the Canucks can make it. No, they're toast. Rip Van Winkle says, Demko done. Double D's for Vancouver. I'll show myself out the door and start sobering up. Chief Andy says, Canucks fell off a cliff fast, big time. And then Word says, yeah, the Blues are going to have the blues from burning themselves out. Big Uke is calling for a wild upset over Winnipeg. Blues upset Vegas. Ooh, juicy whammy. Big Uke. C-Run saying Binnington is playing great hockey and is a good puck handler, which is like having a third D-man. We saw that with Mike Smith here in Edmonton. And then Jimmy Onishi says, peace all. Peace to you, Jimmy Onishi. All right. That's going to do it.
Fun show.
I keep breaking the mic. Very good show. Very sad to hear about Val Kilmer. He was a good Batman. He only had the one Batman. Although he did that. I think, did he have the cameo? No, he didn't. Not in The Flash. Anyway,
he was awesome in Heat.
He was awesome. Yes, in Heat, he was great. Obviously, he was Doc Holliday.
I'm your Huckleberry.
In Tombstone, and there goes another legend, unfortunately, in Hollywood. But on the bright side, the Oilers win it, 3-2. They're off to San Jose Thursday night. That's going to do it for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show. For Hernan, Salas, and Matt Cassian, I'm Tom Gazzola saying thank you for staying up late with us. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a good night.